Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mindful Monday in Belize, and I want to talk to you about what I've been mindful about in the last week, and maybe it'll help you. And I got to say, I'm back in my apartment, but I really wanted to take you out on the beach today, and I found some beautiful places. It is so breezy today that you wouldn't be able to hear me. So hopefully next time we'll be out on the beach together. I was looking for little hallways and little restaurants, but it was all so breezy. So I think you can hear me better now, even though I've got my door open and you can hear the golf carts and you can hear the beach. Oh, poor me. It's so hard. Anyway, what I really want to talk to you about today is self-care. And as you may know or not know, I have a podcast series that's about menopause and beyond. I just can't even remember the name of it right now. That's funny. I've only done 46 podcasts. But it's all about menopause, and it's about losing weight, and it's about even beyond menopause. And you can get that at drdebbutler.com/podcast if you want to know about all of my mindfulness tools that I use to try to help people take better care of themselves. And I just put losing weight in the category of excellent self-care. Because I believe that when you really think you're worth excellent self-care, unbelievable things can happen for you. And I believe that many of my clients really don't think they're worth it, and that the things that are asked of them when they either want to lose weight or whatever it is they want to do that takes their attention onto themselves, they just don't want to do it because it's too hard. And I want to ask you a question. Just because it's hard doesn't mean you're not worth it, and doesn't mean you don't want to do it. Because I can tell you that if it were your kids or your grandkids, I say grandkids because I've got Sebastian and I would do anything for that child. But I also put Sebastian in the same category as myself, which means what I would do for him, I would also do for myself too. I think I'm that important. And a perfect example of what I want to show to you today, so that when we're through talking, you will become very mindful that when things come across to you, like for instance, say you're working today and you need to eat lunch and you're so busy that you just almost forget that you need to eat. You would have to take great mindfulness, paying attention, that if you're physically hungry, I'm not talking about the clock, I'm talking about if you feel that your body is hungry, not starving, but ready to eat, that -2 that I talk about all the time. I want you to feed yourself. I want you to think, oh my gosh, my darling. I want you to talk to yourself like that. Oh my gosh, my darling, you're hungry. I need to feed you. Just like if it were your child, you don't wait until they're screaming to decide to feed them. You get them before they're screaming. I want you to get you before your body is screaming and you can't think and you're screaming at people because you're hangry. Self-care requires a lot of attention from you, period. You have to decide if you're worth it. The story that I want to share with you is that I was I'm in Belize, and last week, and I shared this in the podcast too, that's why I put it up here for you to get, that if you, I really try to eat healthy lunches here, well, everywhere. And here it's a much bigger challenge because, it's hard to find what I want. There's not a lot of vegetables around. If I want to get something quick at a restaurant, I can't get a lot of vegetables with it. I can get a lot of beans, I can get a lot of rice, I can get some chicken, which is good, but I like a lot of vegetables, and salads and all of that stuff is just kind of like they just don't do it. So what I decided last week is that I needed to really stock up on a lot of vegetables, and I need to decide and find out what those vegetables even are, because the vegetables that we have that are local or close or organic are not the same things here, and it really takes a lot of my time and effort to find all of that out. That's what I decided to do last week, is really learn about the vegetables, learn about what's going to be the cleanest and the most local. And then I had to decide I had to buy them. I'm not saying that I'm acting like this is hard, but for me, it really was hard because I was in the middle of working and it was hot out and I really didn't want to go up and cook vegetables. Did you just hear that airplane? There's little airplanes riding around here all the time because I'm on an island and people come here on little airplanes. Okay, anyway, so how can you take care of yourself better? What I did is I made a decision, even though it was hard. I made the decision that I wanted to feel good for the rest of the day, and the only way for me to do that was to get the vegetables, go home and cook a bunch of vegetables up, take time, eat my vegetables with some other food that I had purchased, and I really made myself a healthy lunch. And I felt so good, and I was so ready to be coaching maybe you in the afternoon. I was so ready to do it and felt so much better about it. And why? Because I took care of myself. When I take care of myself, I am much more able to take care of you or anybody else that I need to help that day. This is the same for you too. When you need to help other people, you need to be in a position where you're well cared for so that you have room to take care of other people first. So that's what I want to leave you with today. Take care of yourself, even though your mind may say, oh, this is so hard, you don't have time, blah, blah, blah. The mindfulness is just because your mind says that doesn't mean it's true. I'm telling you, you are worth it. I am worth it. And even if it's hard, you're even more worth it. Don't make doing something hard for yourself something that you won't do. When you think something is hard for yourself, do it anyway. The reward is amazing. So until next Monday, it's an unbelievable day here, and be mindful about being excellent to yourself and doing hard things. Bye-bye.